So here's my part 2 of this morning's video about the update about the concert. So Amber and Mike can't come, so I was just like, Lord, your will. So it's gonna be my little sister and my mom. So what's really cool about the second you decide to be all in following Jesus, like all in, you're gonna feel like you don't stop falling, and your whole life's gonna change, and you'll lose jobs, you'll lose health, you'll lose friends, like you'll lose everything. He'll bring you down to a Job level if you need to be worked out from the roots up, you know what I mean? So you'll lose tons in the natural, but what you gain in the supernatural is absolutely incredible, because how many people could say that everyone brought into my life is God's divine connection, or everywhere I am is the right place at the right time, not by chance, not by luck, not by one-offs, that you're always exactly where you're meant to be, for such a time as this, and just that every moment of your life is being orchestrated for you. So it's going to be the best moment of life that you could have at that moment, right? And storms are rough. The good thing about my little sister going is that as a big sister, I'll have to stay strong, and my whole body trembles just sitting up or lifting a cup or anything. I can't really hold up my own spine or neck or really stand. So even now, my whole body is at all times if I'm not laying flat in bed. So I'll be in an immense amount of pain, and I'm already every second of every day at a pretty very high level. But that'll definitely increase it. And it's no re-entry, so I'm bringing a sheet, and if I have seizures through it, just going under the sheet for a minute. And the band that's my favorite band in the whole entire world is The Last Band, of course. And what's really awesome too is my little sister's 12, and I took Amber to her first concert when she was 12, so I get to take Via to her first rock concert, and this is probably one of their last shows, because they've been around since I'm a teenager, and they never ever come to this area. Probably not one single human in this area even knows who they are, because they're New Jersey, Long Island, New York City type scene, right? So, I went with a classic tie-dye dress, because I have all these sensory issues now, and everything that touches my skin hurts. And then I'm going to old lady it up with my cashmere apricot scarf that I love so much. And I'm just, telling them the Lord, I do all things through the Lord who strengthens me. And when my walker was stolen, that I felt I really needed to be able to get through this concert, I found my little Jesus figurine that was in the walker, that, laying there. So I said, all right, God, you're just going to keep me walking without a walker then, So I keep pushing myself to the fullest no matter what, just to keep walking and exercising, because the longer it takes you to rebuild your body, the longer you'll be in pain. So you have a lot of control over the pace in which you recover. It's really comes down to mind over matter, and knowing I'm gonna hurt whether I'm being productive, I'm gonna hurt whether I'm laying here, I'm gonna hurt whether I'm deteriorating more. So you choose just to keep fighting, and then pushing your body to the max every single day. Build up muscle as fast as you can, and then it just gets better and better from there. And I'm super pumped. About this. God is so good, It's just been really cool that since I surrendered everything, I just live every moment of my life in anticipation now It used to be like plan, stress, plan, worry, calculate, and now it's just like, hey God, what you gonna do? Because in the natural, I can't do anything. In this health condition, there's nothing I could do. I can't work, even 1 hour. I can't do much, right? But in the supernatural, God, what are you gonna do? So he's like aware of every roadblock and stuff, and he just like laughs at it, like, watch this. And the pit is a good place to be. The pit's a really good place to be. Clawing your way out of it isn't fun, but one of the things that I was thinking about this morning is how we've moved now 16 times in 15 years. And that's just in 15 years. If you count the times I moved before that and as a kid and stuff, it's probably triple that, right? So I never, ever once felt like I had a home, ever. And one of my biggest heart cries to the Lord was always like, Lord, just like give us roots, give us grounding, like give us a home. I'll live there till the day I die, you know what I mean? And I just wanted that roots and stability, and instead it was like from the time I was born to now, move. And I've never even lived somewhere for like years. Like, it's all 6 months to a year, and just, it's insane. And I was real estate too, so I was selling houses and showing houses every day, but because I started out life as a single mom and spent 19 years as a single mom, it was really, really hard to build up my credit, and took a very long time, right? So I was working on that, and about to be able to qualify for 2 houses. I was going to get me a house, a mom a house, right? But anyway, God's still just going to be like, bam, and bless us. But I had my plans, and I thought they were pretty great, but now the Lord's going to be like, Ash, my plans for you are so much greater. So it's like I got to be completely free, and be free for the first time in my life, of just no worry, no like, oh God, how are we going to do this? And just be like, all right, God's the God of the impossible. So that means all the impossible is going to happen. And that's, a promise. And the miracles and the promises, that's all real, So now I just get to have anticipation for this beautiful future. And it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. Like, when you get saved and you actually truly surrender to Jesus, it's amazing the way he transforms your heart, your views, your perspectives, your worries, your concerns. Like, you really do get made new. And don't worry, I am going to put on as much makeup as I possibly can before the concert, so I could take some pictures, because they say the windows are the entrance to your soul, and the entrance to my soul is a very, very sick storm that's in pain of levels that would bring a grown man to his knees, hysterically crying. So I look at pictures and I just stare at eyes, right? I guess I only look at eyes in every human, so when I see pictures, that's the only thing I look at also. So because my eyes just reflect my storm, every time I see a picture of me now, I'm like, wah! Damn, the eyes to my soul look like it's been rough. It's just, when you live with chronic illness and pain and your body's completely deteriorated, you're living, but you're living through the pain, and you're retraining your body, and it's just a period of recovery. But there's like an end to the tunnel, because once all the muscles are rebuilt and once you're like strong again, all the pain stops, So you don't have to like get stuck in the whoa, it's me moment. You could be empowered by every single moment. I am building myself, I'm bettering myself, every single morning. Like, when you just talk to Jesus, you're like, hey God, lead my steps today. Bring to me the people you want me to meet. Protect me for those you don't. Set angels aside to protect me, so I could walk in boldness, feeling safe, and be my protector when I'm too weak to protect myself. And just to feel really empowered, to know that you don't know how you have to like get to your future. You just know who holds the future, so you could just kind of chill out. It's pretty great. So I don't really, I don't really let too much bother me, and especially if I have any emotion at all, sadness, fear, this or that, any negative emotion, anything that releases cortisol on my head into my brain, instantly sparks my neurotransmitters into my theta brain, because my brain's in this weird state of mind because only the right side operates right now. So at all times I gotta stay just even Steven, and that's knowing anything that didn't happen that I wanted was God closed the door, so thank you God for that not happening. It's knowing I'm not worried about what tomorrow brings because God has unlimited resources in heaven. This isn't like the end, it's like the beginnings and the makings. 3, like just the willingness to say yes to everything. That's kind of freeing too, because you don't have to figure out anything, because the things the Lord wants you to do, He presents you with, and the opportunities or the things that people ask you to do, and you just say yes. So He brings it to you. You become more of a magnet. So it's not always search and figure out and plan. It's all brought to you. So you could just walk in knowing like, hey, God can make me a millionaire tomorrow, and He could do this, and I could be 100%, healed in my brain tomorrow. The body obviously will still take a minimum of a year, because that's just logic. A year of bed rest takes 2.5 days to recover every single day. So theoretically, it would take me 2.5 years to recover just the level normal of muscle mass and stuff. But God works in God's speed, and when you're doing it with pure motivation, you speed up average times. You know what I mean? That's what makes it extraordinary, and I get to just feel like I'm walking in a miracle, and every day I'm like, all right, God, what am I going to learn? What do I have to listen to? What do I have to say? Who do I have to approach? Just He teaches me everyday boundaries of anything that sparks emotion, and how to have boundaries with that, and how to walk in His supernatural peace, so that my body isn't controlling me. Since my mind doesn't control my body, I now just have to stay in that supernatural peace and filled with the Holy Spirit. And that keeps me in that state of mind that is my healthy brain, right? Because my brain doesn't sense a threat and jump into, the child brain or the autistic brain or the Down syndrome brain. So God's just teaching me, be still like water, be unshakable. To be courageous, you can't be moved by people's words. You can't be moved by what's going on in the world. You can't be moved by opinions or, because you got to stay 100% authentic. So there's going to be a lot of awkward situations. You know what I mean? You might be going somewhere, and if your authentic self is to dress one way and everyone else is another way, you might feel like you stand out some places. But if you're being true to you, God doesn't call you to have a calling, but then change who you are, He calls you because He made you. He gave you that mind, that personality, that, outgoingness, your quirks, whatever. He likes you how you are. He says, you're perfectly and wonderfully made. So even people with disabilities, and they counted as something against them, that's how God thought you were beautifully and perfectly made. And people with mental illness are always kind of like, I'm broken, something's wrong with me. No, God made your brain. You're just not saved. Most people with mental illness, they have no mental illness. It's literally, life is traumatizing. You have a bunch of pent-up stress. You're still stressed. You can't release it. And it's coming out, manifesting itself in unhealthy ways. and then you get saved and it goes away, you know. Things are a process. It's not always like that, because God will walk you through, hey, why'd you get this way? Hey, let's dig up those roots and get you a new foundation. Like, something went seriously wrong to get to this point. Let's fix it, you know what I mean? But let's fix it on me so it can never come back again. That's the pure healing. You know, I've spoken to people that literally have spoken to pastors that literally, this is a quote, I've gotten more healing from one session with a pastor than 20 years with a therapist. And that's how it is with Jesus, 100%. Because when he's healing you, he's also in you, you know. So you just keep speaking life over your body. Life and death over your tongue applies to your health too. If, you know, I was cursing myself every time I was saying I was like a frail old lady or this or that, because your cells are listening. Every cell in your body's alive. You know, they're listening. It's affecting what you're actually thinking and what you're telling your body. And then your whole body's working on that vibration rather than like, I'm healthier today than I was yesterday. Healthier today than I am yesterday, because any day you got out of bed and took a walk, you are healthier than you were yesterday, you know. Any day you worked with Jesus and got some inner healing, you're healthier than you were yesterday. Or every day you work with the Lord, you're healthier than you were yesterday. But I'm really hoping I could do some shadow effect makeup that I don't look like, you know, how I feel inside. They are not playing with the windows. Like, alright, picture, these are usually my eyes. No bags, literally no bags, no heaviness, and not bloodshot, and, you know, normal. So, you know, people are probably like, whoa, she's having a rough day or rough life, or, you know, she's on something. Like, I'm sure some people too, with the way I walk, they're just like, there's a drunkard, you know, I'm all swaying and crossing my legs, and, you know, my brain's trying to tell my body how to walk, but it's just shooting nerve signals however it wants. So you're like, hey, I commanded you for 37 years. Cut it, you know. Yeah, talk to your body. Yeah, I mean, they say talk to your animals, talk to your plants. If your body, your soul's alive, Jesus is in you, like, talk to it. So since I changed the way I talk to myself, I feel way healthier. I feel my posture's better. I feel more able to keep myself awake. It's a huge, huge, huge challenge. But, yeah. Every day, you grow a little bit stronger in that area, and the next day becomes a little bit easier. And soon you're like, you know, Xena. People are like, dang, but they have no clue how hard you worked for it, you know. But then, you have to feel accomplished. Every day you get to feel accomplished. And not many people get to wake up and say, I feel accomplished today. Because most people's lives are the same every day. But when every single day you recover a bit more, then every single day you get to say, I was accomplished today, you know. It's a great feeling. So just keep looking at the silver linings, and you'll see that there's not a single situation without a silver lining ever, you know. It's just what you focus on. But I'll tell you guys how the concert goes. I think it's gonna go great, because God knows Mom hasn't had fun in like 20 years, and Mom gets to go with both her daughters, and Mom this week, a couple days ago, found out she had lupus, and Miana this week found out she has a heart murmur and scoliosis. So they both had a really rough week. So I feel like God is just gonna show up and put us in His presence and give us all the health and the strength, and make it just a beautiful, memorable, like, remarkable time. And it's just so cool to be there with, you know, my mom and little sister, you know, especially after the week they had, seeing my favorite band in the entire universe, the band I've seen live most than any other band, and the band I have tattooed on me, you know. Actually, I have two of the bands playing tattooed on me. And Mom really likes one of the bands, and Viana's gonna love the other two. She already knows one and loves it, but she don't even know about the other two. One is a female punk singer. It's the first I've ever heard of her, but I looked up some of her music, and she's really, really, really good. And I always love when they have shows that they throw in a female lead singer. It just brings a whole new energy, and and I love empowered women, so I'm not a feminist. I'm just like girl power, like the Power Rangers, or not, like Powerpuff Girls or Charlie's Angels or whatever. Yeah, women gotta like all lift each other up, right? We're all fighting the same life, but so it's just really cool what God did and how He orchestrated everything, and Mom was not expecting this, and her rest of the day just would have been work, and now it's like fun and pleasure, and we would have just been laying in bed. She hasn't been feeling well, and she would have just done that on a hard Friday night. So it's just a beautiful thing God swooped in and did. I knew He would. You're always left astonished when God's just doing your life for you. It's really the way to do it. So, guys, have the good day and make the best of it. And if there's any picture that like my eyes are at least like only this much closed, my eyes are literally actually really big. I usually have like big eyes. Like, actually, my eyes are probably usually too big for my head. They're not squinty, sick, bedridden eyes. Obviously that bothers me, and Jesus gets it. Jesus is like, Ash, no, I understand. But I'm gonna heal that too. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, But the Lord is good, every day, and